Good morning, students. Today we will continue chapter 2, software and its types. So already we have discussed about software. So there are two types of software: system software and application software. So this system software again divided into three parts: operating system, language processor, and utility software. So already we have discussed about the operating system. Now today we will discuss about the language processor and utility software, this utility programs. So what is system software? System software, it serves as interface between the hardware and the end users. Means by the help of system software we can interact with the computer. It allows users to interact the hardware components of the computer. So as we have learned, what we have learned, we have learned that to run any computer there should have software and hardware, and in the software there should have the operating system to switch on any computer, to interact with any computer there should have the system software, and which part operating system is essential for the any computer to run it. Okay, so because operating system gives interface users to interact with the hardware components of the computer. Now today we will study utility programs. Utility software, it is specific, this software perform specific tasks usually related to maintenance. It is related to the maintenance, managing computer and its peripherals and its programs. These programs assist in the smooth functioning of computer system and help it to give best performance. Means suppose any in your computer there is any problems are occurring, or any misbehaving is done by the computer. So at the time, to correct that problems, to rectify the problems, the errors, to rectify that errors, we need the utility programs, utility software, because it will be maintained, that will be recovered, that like antivirus are there. So about this we will see in this utility programs. So like for example, some utilities help you to protect from the virus attack, take backup of your data, clean disks. Some junk files are there, unwanted files that you can delete it from here, make disks healthier and fast access recovering data when it is deleted. The utility programs are also available free of cost on the internet, and some are part of an operating system. Some utility programs we can also buy from computer stores. So like some antivirus or some other program which is which you can buy from the internet. Some are free, some are come with your operating system also, some utility programs. So what is the use of this utility program? Actually it maintains, it manages your computer, your peripheral devices of your computer, because if any errors are there or your computer getting slow, so for that, to remove that junk files, means unwanted files, to remove that all, so we require the utility softwares, utility programs. So one by one there are some parts. So the first one, that is network utility. So this network utility is used to make network connection or to connect a network resource like network, printer or hard disk. Means network means whatever the peripherals which is connected to your computer, that come under the network. So take care of this, means to maintain these resources, the connections, we need the network utility. It also check the network connectivity, means when you are connected with the internet, so that connections is also checked with it. Like these utilities these utilities also examine the network speed, what is the speed of your network, track the bandwidth usage and performance, monitor network traffic, many more. So this all the related network issues for the internet, and as well as your connected your many computers are connected, so that networks, so that all can be handled by the network utility. Here is some more fact. A third software category, that is that of network software. A third software category is that of network software, which coordinates communication between computer linked in a network. If we divide the further this software, so there can be the third category like system application, and third one can be network software. Okay, but actually it is divided into two parts only, application and system. So now whatever we are studying, this is all come under the system software. Okay, now next we have the file manager. Okay, so this file manager utilities are used for organizing files and folders on the storage. So whatever the file is stored in your computer, so that has been organized, that has been arranged. This utility helps a user to perform various operations on files such as viewing, editing, copying and deleting. So any files which you want to move, copy, edit, so that management can be done by the file manager. Next is your disk management. So this is about your hard disk, the storage. Okay, so this is your disk management utility enables a user to manage the disk drives installed in computer. Okay, it also helps in browsing the hard disk, access the various data drives. Disk management tools can also used to partition the drive, format the drive, assign the letters. Maybe as you have seen that in your computer there are C drive, D drive. So that is the partition of the hard disk. You can assign, you can also change the letter like C, D, E, F drives are there, that you can assign the letters for that. So all this management, the hard disk management, memory management, their formatting, their recovering, the all is done by the disk management. Okay, next is your scanning for various and malware. So this is for the this is for the scanning of the virus. So any what is virus, it is a self-replicating program. What is virus? It is a self-replicating program. Virus stands for vital resource under siege. Okay, so scanning, here you can see this virus, virus. This virus, what is virus? Virus is a self-replicating program. So it is a self-replicating means it is replicating itself, means one to one, one to many. Okay, like it will replicate here, it will make two. So this all this two will be make. Okay, so it is replicating itself. And virus stands for, V stands for vital, I stands for information, R stands for resource, U stands for under, S stands for siege. Vital, information, resource under siege. So scanning for viruses and malware. Scanning is a process in which computer system including drives and files. Drives means your hard drives, hard disks, as well as the files are there, like some files in your primary memory and secondary memory. So it will check, it is possible viruses or malware attack, it will check. So who will check? The anti-malware, commonly used for as antivirus, is used for scanning. This utility provides the computer system against attack which are undesired in a computer system. So actually what does virus? Virus actually, when virus will attack you, it will infect your file, it will delete your file, it will alter the performance of your computer, means abnormally computer will behave. Suppose you want to add, it will subtract, your file will destroy, means your data will be misplaced. Sometimes your computer can be destroyed, means it can be out of order. Okay, so by this antivirus, it take care of that, it remove that one. Okay, so like these tools also include a tool to recover lost file, protect computer against system failure. Okay, sometimes system failure will be there because your file will be not there. Suppose your booting file is missing, when you switch on, your computer will be not on, because you know that when you switch on your computer, operating system is loading its BIOS, basic input output function. It is loaded there, but sometime booting will be not happen there, means the virus will be affected to your operating system, computer will be not on, so at that time your system will be failure. So there this antivirus will protect. Now antivirus program should be updated regularly to protect the computer system against latest threat and malware. So that antivirus should be updated, means by the help of internet, the new files is been updated with that. Now so that your antivirus will be updated and any file will be any virus will be attacked, that can be removed. Now some examples of antivirus you can see: Quick Heal, Avast, AVG, Norton, etc. These are the name of the antivirus. Okay, now backup. Backup is that, like suppose like backup is a service provided by OS. This backup service provided by OS, operating system, in which a copy of data is stored in another storage device so that can be recovered in case of loss or damage the original data. Means you are copying the some data of your file of your operating, means your, suppose sometimes your computer is destroyed or it is deleted by the by your mistake or by the attack of virus, it is deleted. So you can make the backup in your hard disk or in other external device. Means something is happened, it is damaged, so you can recover by that backup file. Backup includes files, folders, database, okay, or complete disk drive. Okay, so it you can backup these things, your files, folders, database, complete disk drives. These things you can backup. So like in standalone, this is the standalone system. What is happening in standalone system? Backup may be taken in the same or different drive. Means that drive of your computer drive, so that can be possible in the standalone, means in the same drive or in the different drive you can do. But in the case of networked system, you can backup done on the server, means on the internet's, because internet giving the some space, it provides some space to us to store the data, so you can backup your file to the internet there. But in the standalone, you can store in the same drive or in the different drive. Okay, now as hard disk is an electronic device, it may also failure resulting in the loss. So it is good practice to backup all the files on the storage devices like CD. Means whatever, what I mean to say, in the computer system there are C drive, D drive. Suppose you have backup your drive in the C drive only, so that can be damaged. Or in the D drive, if you have made the backup, you never you should make the backup in the same drive where is your operating is installed. Never do this, because when you will format your everything will be deleted. So it's better to store in the another drive, like where is not your operating system. Or maybe sometimes if your hard disk will be corrupt, so that your backup file be deleted. So it's a better option to you can store in the secondary devices like CD, pen drive, etc. In there you can store it, means you can make it backup. Okay, now so how you can, after backup, once you have backup, how you will backup it, and after backupping how you can recover it. So what are the process? So first process, so there is in Windows 10, what you have to do, you have to click on the start button or start bar. So in there you will find the control panel. There is a control panel, as you know that control panel means in the start menu you will go, there is a control panel. So there you can do the any changes of your computer, you can install, uninstall, you can find the your computer configurations you can do in the control panel. Control panel windows will open. Further click on backup and restore, you will get this option. In the same option you will there in Windows 7 also, backup and restore. Okay, so now this option you can see, this is the option for the Windows 7. So here you will see this backup and restore Windows 7 is there. So this option you have to select. After selecting this option, you will have this window. Here is you will get click on the setup backup icon. Here is the you have to click on the setup on click on setup backup icon. Window will start processing the backup. Okay, so here is the setup backup icon. Here you have to click, and then after it will be started backupping your file. Thus the setup backup dialog will appear, and you can see the message will come starting Windows backup. So backup will be started now. So after backup, here you will again, they will ask where you want to backup. So here is this, select where you want to save your backup. So here is like your drive is there, drive is asking, or you can save on the network. Save on the network, as you have, as I told that there is a standalone or on the network. You save on the network, it will be saved to the server, means on by the help of internet. Or like this is the drive, whatever the drive with your computer, it will be shown here. Or you can insert the external drive, so that drive will also show here. So then after click on the next button. So when you will click to the next button, then after the next screen will come here. Next screen will promote what do you want to backup, what are the things you want to backup. So there are two options will be, let Windows, means one option automatically window will choose that, means by default, or you want to choose, means by yourself, which file or which folder or which apps you want to backup. So here you will get the options, means by yourself, means you can select it, and in this which is recommended by the Windows, means automatically whatever already they know that, means which is already given instruction, so by default it will be taken as. So this is up to you, you want to select by yourself or means ready-made one you want to take, so you can do from here. So either this one or this option, or according to your usage you can select, then after click on the next button. Then you will see here with the, here is about that one, let the option let window choose which is recommended, selected by the default. Computer takes the backup of all data stored in your computer and create the system image which can be used for the restore. Means here all the data will be backup. But now then after click on the next, and then after you will see this, you will see here this new window will be there. Here is that, now you can see that everything appear corrected. Here you can also schedule the day and time on which backup occur by clicking on change schedule option. So here is some schedule also you can change, at which time you want to backup your data. Every day you want to backup the data, so at which time you want to schedule, so you can schedule the timing, so that can be backup again every days. Okay, so here is that you might also consider encrypting the data on your backup. So then after doing this one, you can save it. So there is an option for save setting. Now click on the save setting and run backup option. The backup process will start. The backup process will also continue in on scheduled time in set in the previous script. If you have set here, if you have given the time, you have set the time, so on that particular time every day it will start backupping. Got it? Now you can see here, once you will do it, so you will see here backup, and here is it, this message will come, backup in progress. Okay, so it means your backup is going on, so the datas are now getting backup. Now next you can see more to know. Do not backup files on, here you can see, do not backup files on the same hard disk that Windows are installed. As I mentioned, as I told that, where is your Windows, means your operating system is installed, in that particular folder, in that particular drive you don't backup. For example, do not backup your file recovery partition. Always store media used for backup external hard disks, because it is easy, it is a good habit to backup your files in your secondary devices like hard disks, DVDs and CD. Is in a secure place to prevent unauthorized people having access your file. It is safe and as well as secure also. Okay, now next type of utility software which we will see, which is compression. Compression is also utility provided by OS in which files shrink so that occupy less disk space. In this type of utility, compression what does, it compress the file, it reduce the size of the file, and shrink the file such that to occupy the less disk, means the size of the memory it will take less. So file compression utility reduce the amount of space needed to store data. It simply reduce the space of the data. Using compressed file can free up valuable space on hard drive, because so many spaces it will taken by the files, so that can be compressed to make some data, some space free for the other uses. Some files like Word files can be compressed up to 90% of their original size. Okay, so it can compress up to 90%, means suppose if it is 100 MB, so it can be of the 10 MB, so 90% of data it can be reduced. So like these files can be read directly by application and must be decompressed by their actual form by the use of, means you can compress and decompress. Compress means you have compressed, means you have shrink the file, again you want to take in the original file, so you can decompress. So there are some software like WinZip, PKZip, 7zip. These are the examples, these are the software for the compressions. Okay, now we will see the next part of this. As we have discussed, system software have the three parts. What are the three parts? Operating system, utility software. Operating system already we have discussed. Utility software, utility programs already we have discussed. Now third part of the system software that we will see, which is language processor. What is it? It is your language processor. The third part we will see language processor, because there are three parts of the system software: operating system, utility programs, utility software, and now third one is the language processor. Language processor is what? Language, it will translate your high level language to low level language. Means suppose anything any instructions you are giving, how computer will understand? As you know that computer understand the low level language, means binary language 0 and 1. So how to understand your instruction? So that will be converted, that will be translated. So how it will be translated? As you know that about the language, in the first generation computer, which language were used? Machine language. Okay, in the second generation, assembly language. In the third generation, okay, high level language were used. In the fourth generation, 4GL language were used. So computer, to make understand computer, we always, the program should be converted to the machine language, and these languages are low level language. Okay, and our languages are high level. Okay, high level languages. Okay, now we will see these languages. In the beginning of the lesson, where it is stated that the software are written in some computer programming languages. Some popular computer languages are like Java, C, C++, Python, etc. These are the some computer languages. Okay, so this computer can work with zeros and one. As you know that, as I told, 0 and 1, this is the 0 for on, at 0 for off, 1 for on. Okay, this computer work on only this logic gates 0 and 1. This is called the machine language, and this also it is called the binary language, which consists of 0 and 1. Therefore a program written in a programming language cannot be directly understood by the computer. Hence we need some utility which can convert our programming into machine language. As I told that in any language you have written program, that must be converted to the machine language, because machine can understand 0 and 1, so it should be converted in this language. So there are assembler. There are three part actually: assembler, interpreter, and compiler. So but here we will study interpreter and compiler. This assembler is actually when it was written in the assembly language. When your program is written in the assembly language, at that time we are required assembler to translate this assembly language to the machine language. We are using the assembler. Okay, but this interpreter and compiler is used for the high level language to the low level language. This is actually translator to convert it. So first of all we will see the interpreter. So an interpreter translate a program code written in high level language into machine code. So what it does, it translates the high level language into the machine code. Okay, now instructions by instruction, means one by one. How interpreter is done? It goes line by line, instruction by instruction. It goes line by line, or you can say instruction by instruction. Generally one instruction is written in one line. If an error occurs, the process of interpretation displays the error message. So how it does? So it goes by line. First line it will check if it is correct, no problem. Next line it will check if any error is there, any bug is there, so it will promote the message. It will give the message, here is the error, you correct it. So this is the in this way interpreter compile. Okay, it displays the error, and the error is corrected, and the program again give the interpreter which start from the beginning. And then what happen? So once you will correct this error, so again it will start from the which will start from the beginning. Again it will start from here, and it will again check one by one. Okay, but in the case of compiler, it is it is just opposite of the interpreter. A compiler translates the complete program into machine code in one go. Means at one time in one go, what is does it compile the full program. Means first it will compile all these things. Okay, if any errors messages are there, it will just keep in the memory, and after compiling it will display all the your error message in this particular line, particular word, or in the particular paragraph there is a error, you just go and check it. Okay, the machine equivalent program called the object code. Means when once it is converted, which is called the object code, all errors are listed together. If there are necessary, any compilation is faster process than interpreter. So of course this compiler is faster than interpreter, because it does at once, means in a one go it does. So it is faster than the interpreter. And when you are writing the code, your code is called the source code. Okay, your code is called the source code. Once it is translated, it is called the object code. It is called the object code. Okay, after the translation, means when it is become the machine language. Okay, so this is all about your system software. So till now whatever we have studied, which is the about the system software. Now we will study the next, we will study application software. Okay.